All right. Hello, hello, hello. It is Teachers Appreciation Week.
Teachers.
And look, guys, let me introduce myself and then I'm going to introduce this amazing woman that we are here with today. All right. So, my name is Valerie Humphrey. I am the educator's educator. I help educators connect with students that don't look like them. Wait a minute. That's not about the skin tone. It could be any gap that you think of. It could be a culture gap, it could be socioeconomic gap, it could be whatever gap you think of. But it's not even about me tonight. It's about all this week on extremeteachers.com right here, guys, live. We are going to be interviewing teachers that are extreme. They are amazing teachers. And the first one up this evening is Kristi Rohrer. Hello,
Hello,
Kristi.
Miss Val. How are you? So good to
I
see
am,
you.
I am so excited, guys. Man, I can't even tell you guys how I met this amazing woman. I'm gonna tell you. I said I can't, but I'm gonna tell you. So she is in matter of fact, I'll tell you what. You tell them how we met, and then I'm gonna tell them how amazing you are.
Oh, well, I could say how amazing you are. I could go on for hours about that. So I was very lucky and got to attend a conference in one of the Chicago suburbs outside of Chicago. I live in Toledo or live in Michigan, but I teach in Toledo, and I just happened to go. And at the very end of our conference, you came and gave a presentation, and you were talking about all the amazing things you're doing with the young girls in your community, and started in your school, but then kind of built and just the things you were saying in this illustrative way you had of getting your message across to the girls and this energy that you brought. I hung around, and this is kind of not my normal personality, just said, I need to meet you. Is there a way that, do you have anything in the Toledo area? Do you have anything that you could do? Have you ever done that? And you, as the amazing person that you are, said, I've never done it, but I don't see why we couldn't. And we just made it work. We started talking over the summer, and you, our girls, were so lucky to have you come and visit us. And you and I got to know each other really well. And it was just one of those meant to be kind of things. I feel so lucky.
Amazing. So it has been amazing. I must tell you, our journey has been amazing. And I ended up going to Toledo every other weekend on the
Mhm.
train.
Yep.
In the train down every other weekend. What was it 2 years or one?
Just the one that you came in person. Then we did some virtual
Right.
meetings. Yeah.
And then we did virtual. So it was wonderful. I met some amazing people there. So Kristi is one of them, but I'll tell you about her heart. Her heart is so amazing because the very first time now, the very don't get it mixed up. The very first time Kristi met me, when I came down on the train, she picked me up from. Did you? No, I took a cab from the train
Yeah.
station.
Mm-hmm.
But the next morning, I went to the school, and Kristi was like, I was like, oh, I need this item, this, and this, but I'll buy it, right? Kristi was like, well, nope, here, and I'm like, here what? Like, she was like, she gave me her car keys. I was like, okay, now look. Where I'm from, you'll get look, I don't know you. All I know is we're paying you to come down here and work with these girls. I don't know you like that. And she gave me her car, and I was just like, either this woman is crazy or she is amazing. And guess what? I found out she's amazing.
Well, I mean, you traveled 4 hours on a train to come and see us. I think you're arriving at like 1 o'clock in the morning or something like that. You just just came and scoped out our school to see how you could best connect with our kids. I had really, it was not a gamble on my part to give you my car keys at all.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I really do. All right, so let's get down to it. So, what made you want to become a teacher, Kristi? Like, what?
It's kind of strange because it wasn't one of those things for me that was like a lifetime calling. It really wasn't. My story maybe is a little different. I didn't go back to finish my degree until my late 40s. And I went back to study Spanish just because I loved Spanish and I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it. And then after I graduated with the bachelor's, I went on to do the master's. And as part of the master's, you had to teach. So that was my first experience having my own classroom was at the college level. And fortunately, I was old. And so the students didn't know I was a new teacher. So I was able to kind of
Right.
or something. But I think the only thing that gave me the confidence to try to do it was following the example of some of the really great teachers that I had along the way. So when I had a teacher that was really good and when you're studying something like Spanish, for me, that I was really passionate about, and you have these teachers that were passionate about it, and you can see them do it, you kind of pick up on that. And they were really kind and generous to me to do it too. And when I taught at the college level, they were really kind about it. And then just as kind of like a fortunate accident, like meeting you too, at the time I was getting ready to graduate, the school that I was hired back was getting ready to initiate a Spanish program. They didn't have it. And they reached out to the university and said, hey, do you have any new grads that might be interested in starting this program? And I was there. I thought, okay, I can do it. I think I can do it. So it just kind of talk about, divine intervention or something that brought me there. But that's how it happened. So I don't know. That was it.
Wow. Okay, I'm gonna get to why you're extreme. I'm gonna get to it. I haven't even said anything to you about it, but I'm gonna show you why you're extreme. All right, so I'm sharing so other people can see. Okay, hold tight. So let's see. All right. We got to share on these other pages so the world can see how extreme you are. You're amazing. All right, cool. Got it. Okay. So that's all on the timelines. All right. So what was your first year like teaching? What was it like?
Oh my goodness.
The ugly, all of that.
Oh, it was bad. I wish I could go. Maybe not that bad, but I feel like as I've learned over the years, I would like to go back to those kids and apologize or get a do-over or something.
You need a mulligan. You need a mulligan.
Yes, if I could do that, because the only thing that really I was confident in were my skills in Spanish. I didn't have a lot of confidence in like classroom management. I didn't have a lot of confidence in being creative. I don't know. I feel like I kind of just didn't do those kids justice. I really don't feel like it wasn't my best. It wasn't my best.
Okay. I'll take that. All right. So how many years have you been teaching?
I will be starting, assuming we go back in August, that'll be just my 9th year. So I'm not new anymore, but I think people look at me and think maybe it's been a lifelong thing, and it's not. So it's been a late in life journey for me.
Yes. So where did you start teaching?
Well, my very, very first teaching was at the college level at the University of Toledo, but then I've been at Jesu Catholic School in Toledo, and that's been my whole, I'm wearing I got my logo shirt on.
It's Jesu, guys. I promise you, it's not Jesu. I thought when I first went.
Yeah, Jesu. So I've been there mostly teaching middle school, 6, 7, and 8. Depending on our numbers, sometimes I'll get to do the little kids too, which I really like, but it's mostly been middle school.
Okay.
The whole time.
So this is one thing amazing that I know about you. It's like, oh Lord, one thing. So before we get there, so how are you guys dealing with this COVID-19 pandemic? What is that like?
I think like a lot of people were figuring it out on the fly. We were at school today to distribute the last work packet. We are not a one-to-one school, so we can't assume that everybody has a device. We can't assume that everybody has Wi-Fi. And so we're trying to get people the best that we know how. We're trying to do like the Google Hangouts or Zoom, or we're making videos, and the school created a YouTube channel so that parents can log in. Some of us in the older grades were using Google Classroom, but we still have to supply paper activities too, because not everybody, we just can't assume that they've got that. So that's been the hard thing too, is knowing who is able to get online and who's not. And even if they've got Wi-Fi at home, maybe there's a bunch of kids sharing one device, or the parents are trying to work from home and they're using the computer. So you just can't make those assumptions that everyone's got all this technology at their hand, at their fingertips. So it's been tricky.
That's true. And you know what, that just dawned on me. I would say probably this week or yesterday, maybe last week, end of last week, was what dawned on me. I was like, wait a minute. How many people actually have a laptop per kid in the house?
Yeah.
Not very many people have a laptop per kid.
Right.
So you're not even one-to-one in the house.
Right.
They may have their cell phone, but who's doing homework on their phone?
then that's the thing. That's the device most of the kids have. And if
Yes.
you can't type a paper or fill out a, and it's just not easy to do.
That's a bit much. That's a bit much.
So
And
we're doing it,
yeah.
I don't know, experimenting along the way, making a lot of phone calls, even sending stuff in the mail, dropping stuff off the kid's house if we have to, just.
Come on, extreme teacher. Come on. See? That's what I'm talking about.
Oh.
So this is why you're extreme. Because, and people can follow me, y'all can drop in the comments if you want, but so this lady came to me. So when she asked me to come to the school to work with the girls, I was like, sure. I didn't know that 95% of the girls look like me. These girls are black and brown.
Yeah.
And I was shocked. And with this school, the majority of the staff are white and the majority of the students are black.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
She came just very transparent. I want to know how to connect with these girls. I want to have a go-to to ask for help because I need help. What do? I help teachers connect with students that don't look like them. And that's one thing that it's so amazing that I was able to go to Ohio on a regular basis for a year and then Skype in for another year to work with these girls. And they're just like any other students. They have a heart. They're still students.
Yeah.
And it was so amazing to be there and then to see the parents that truly cared. And look, I know it was an elementary school, but what excited me the most after the entire trip, the swing. Right outside of the school was a swing. I was like, this is great. And I got on it. Don't think I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
But we also partnered with students from the college.
Right.
Came and helped out and they mentored. And it was pretty awesome with that. And that lasted even after I stopped coming. They were coming around. That was amazing. I still have the parents on my Facebook page from Ohio that are like, hey, Miss Humphrey, what's up, Miss Val? That's good. So that's pretty awesome. But you're extreme because you cared enough to go beyond the walls of your classroom. And it wasn't about, you wanted to touch your students' hearts. And you knew the heart was really outside of the classroom. Even when even though the program was a Saturday program, you still said, you know what? Michaela didn't come today. Tanya didn't come today. What are we going to do with that? What are we going to do with Tiffany? What are we going to do with so-and-so? And I'm just throwing names. I'm not saying they're actual names, but you still cared enough to help the kids. And we gave them a snack. So the kids still, okay, let me say this. My version of a snack, chips and a juice. It's going to be a juice box. You're not getting a whole can of pop or soda, as they say. They were giving pizza. It was like good pizza too. I was like, what? Pizza and pop. I was like, oh my goodness, I quit. It was great. So to me, that makes you one of our extreme teachers because you went well beyond the walls of your classroom and it didn't stop there for you. You kept going in order to make sure that your students got what they needed that would help outside the classroom. And you gave your heart. And then not even when you knew students that connected to me when I was there, you would call me in the middle of the day and say, can you talk to so-and-so? It's like whatever it takes for this kid. It's not about me and having control in my classroom. So I've seen you do some amazing things and you teach Spanish. Yeah. That is great. And guys, when I went down there, this is the most, you could feel the love in the walls. And it's such an old, I want to say, I don't know if it's an original it's like an old, like the baseboards are original, the cutting of the wood. It's just so.
Actually, old. We're having our 100th year of the school this year. 2020 is the 100th year of the school.
Are you guys doing anything?
We have, our plans have had to be shifting, but yeah. So this building we're in was originally the church. And so, but it's been renovated over time. But yeah, it's been in the community for 100 years.
The archways, it is so
it's got a lot of character to it. Yeah.
Oh, let's say that it has character because it is amazing. So, all right, so let me ask you this. Tell me your most amazing teaching experience. One of the most amazing things that happened where you cried. Tell me you cried. Come on. I know you cried.
I have cried. Yes, I have definitely cried at school. I think, well, part of the thing that has happened, and it's just been, as these things seem to unfold. So yes, I do teach Spanish, but we're a Catholic school. And so I've had to pick up some of the religion too. And I am not 100% comfortable with that. Our kids, although we're a Catholic school, our kids are not Catholic. Lots of them are very active in their own churches, but it's a really sensitive thing to, I'm not trying to, I think when people hear Catholic school, they think the nuns and the, that kind of thing. And we're not like that, but we really had to focus on the things that our religions have in common, kindness and compassion and forgiveness and social justice issues and things like that. So I think a lot of my really special times have come in religion class when we're doing that, because the kids will open up. And I think when I can get them, when we talk about these bigger issues, not just like church history, which they find a little boring, but when we can get into some of the bigger issues and they really share something, and the fact that they trust me enough to share it, they have brought me to tears sometimes with some of their experiences, and the fact that they are comfortable enough to do it. The times when I guess I can't think of one like huge event, but sometimes just these little tiny things, and you think, okay, this is why I come to school every day. They'll share something, or they'll come in and talk to you at lunchtime, maybe, or when I make a mistake and they're generous to me about it. They could laugh at me, or they could think I don't know what I'm doing. But when they see that I'm human and I'm not afraid to say, that didn't work so well, I want to try this again tomorrow in a different way, or you guys didn't like that, what can we do different? And or when I say, oh, you taught me that, I never knew that, I love when you guys teach me something, and they look like, oh, okay, like the technology goes bad, and I'll call a kid up to say, can you know how to fix this or something? They'll really like that. I can think of and it was purely an accident of alphabetical order. I had a boy who alphabetically came first row, first seat, and I wanted to use my smart board, but I said, can you use my computer and just advance the slides for me? It was easier from the computer. Now, I didn't know him, but I guess in the lower grades, he had a little reputation for being, yeah. But it was just, he was the closest one to the computer. And I just said, can you jump in and just hit enter when I gave you the signal? And then when I went to rearrange seats later on, like the next quarter, he was like, no, this is my spot. This is my job. And I think like that kind of thing where I don't know, not like he was ever perfect for me all the time. That's not it. But it was just automatic. I trusted him on my computer. And I don't know, it just helped build a relationship, just something like that. Just these little surprising things. And you think, oh my goodness. I mean, and middle school, they're not, they are, it's a world all to
themselves. They're all angels. They flap their wings
at all times. Not emotional. No, not all wrapped up in themselves.
Not middle school. Not at all.
No, not at all.
Oh, Lord. All right.
You can make those, I don't know, just these little things that.
It's the day-to-days.
Yeah, it is.
Day-to-days, yeah. Mm-hmm. And what I loved about teaching was no 2 days were ever alike. No 2 days were ever alike. No. All right, so let me ask you this. What would you tell your first year teacher, your first year self as a teacher?
If I could go back in time and jump back at 9 years ago, I would say the mastery of my curriculum was not enough. You do have to get to know, if you don't get to know the kids, you don't get to know their families, you don't reach out, you don't do a little extra, it's just not going to be enough. And you can have the most Pinterest looking classroom, which I don't, but that's not the thing. I don't think that's the thing that makes it. I really don't. I think it's just those little, like going to the basketball game, or, showing up at the play that they're in, or again, maybe be a little kinder to myself too, and thinking, okay, it wasn't perfect, but I'll try again. I'll just keep doing something different, reach out for help, when I need some help. I think, I don't know, I guess be a little patient with yourself as a first year teacher.
Yes. So what would you tell a teacher whose first year was this year? This year right here, that's happening right now. Could you imagine if this was your first year?
Actually, the teacher that was in the room right next to me, it was her very first year. And I just really, I tried to put myself in her shoes and think, what would I need to hear? And just know that she's doing fine. She's doing the best, that everybody's doing the best that they can right now, that you don't have to do it alone. You know,
Right.
you don't have to feel like, you know, like it shouldn't be embarrassing to have to ask for help, or if you're having a bad day and you just need to ask somebody about it, or, you know, I know not the venting thing. We don't like to get too much into that. You don't want to focus on the negative, but learn from it. If you're having a difficult time or something, reach out, learn from it, try again the next time. But yeah.
Because I know I could only imagine, because you used to your first year teaching, you used to being able to walk outside of the door and walk to your left, walk to your right, and be able to ask for help. But it's hard right now because you're at home and you got to literally pick up the phone, send a text, wait for a response. So I can only imagine if this was your first year, if this was anyone's first year. Kudos, hats off to every educator that's out there, because some teachers, I worry about those teachers who this is their first year or their last year.
Yeah.
Because they're on their way out and they're like done. They're on their way in and they feel like they're done.
Yeah.
So yes. So the young lady said, next year, I can't see your names, so I have to say the young lady. It says, next school year will be my first year. Any advice?
Any advice? Well,
yeah, you were just saying that. Yes.
Well, we don't know what we're coming back to. We don't.
You give three. You give three. I'll give three.
Okay. Well, I would say be ready to just be ready to be flexible, because we don't know what it's going to be like when we come back. We were just talking about that today when we were in the building. You know, are we going to have to wear masks when we go back to school? You know, that's going to be hard to make a connection with the kid when we do that. You know, we don't know. So I would say be patient, be flexible. Maybe do as much reading as you can. There's a lot of resources out there. Get I've been amazed at how generous companies and professionals are being right now, sharing their expertise online. So I would take advantage of that. If you can make a connection with a mentor teacher, or maybe someone like that, if you're just graduated from college, maybe one of your college professors or someone from there that could really have but a mentor is a good mentor, a good mentor, a positive mentor. And when you have a bad day, it's just a bad day. It's not a bad career. It's not that you've made a bad choice or anything. A bad day is just a bad day. And you get to start over tomorrow.
I'm going to write that down. That's good, my sister. That's good. A bad day is just a bad day. I love it.
Well, that's going to happen.
Just a bad day. I love it. I love it. So, bad day. For me, I was just thinking when you talked about the Pinterest classrooms.
Yeah.
You know what I would do? This just came to me. I wouldn't decorate my room. I would let the kids decorate it.
Oh, that's huge. They love it. Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't do, the first day would be them decorating the room. I would just say, okay, here's everything. Or I would let them pick the theme. Like, I would at least have stuff to match. So I probably would have them pick the theme and go, okay, I'll get the things, and then we'll decorate on Friday.
Yeah.
And then we would decorate the classroom. And each, if it was a bulletin board or whatever, each period will make a decision in the class. Because I want them to have a space, because what happens now, when they come in, they're looking like they can sit there in peace and quiet, and one day in their mind they go, I did that.
Yeah.
I'll put that up. So this buy into their space. And number two, do not be a hero teacher.
No.
I was a hero teacher. My classroom was amazing. I saved every kid in my classroom. But I was a hero in my classroom. And I did not help other teachers. I was amazing at discipline. And I didn't help other teachers. And I didn't see anything wrong with that. I would be like, Kristi's amazing in my class. I don't know why when she go over there to Miss Rohrer class, she can't act right. That's a shame. Miss Rohrer needs to get herself together. And so I had to learn not to be a hero teacher. And my third piece of advice is know that it takes about 5 years to get that groove. Because some days you're going to swing too far left. Some days you're going to swing too far right. Some days you're going to be right in the middle. But to get in that groove and ride in it, it's going to take you about 5 years. Even even at home, to get your pattern. Like, okay, grade papers on this day, or come up with a system where I don't have to grade papers every day, or stay at work all night. And you figure out that system, but it's going to take you a little bit of swinging. And then when you get in that groove, you go, oh, I got this. I got this now. You're going to be riding. And then that's when, once you're riding and things are going well, that's when you're going to be able to help kids even more. Last thing, number 4, I said I was going to do 3. Number 4, don't be afraid to say, I don't know.
Exactly. Oh, that's huge. Yeah, I'm glad you said that one. Huge.
Woo!
Yeah.
Chris,
huge.
Because you think when you first start teaching, I'm a teacher. I have all the answers. I have the grade book and everything they ask me, I'm supposed to know the answer to. Mm-hmm. No, you're not. Baby, bye. You better check yourself. Like, it's okay to go, sweetie, I don't know, but let me look into that. I'll find out. And you come back the next day or a couple days later, guess what? I figured it out. Right. Because they need to know that. Go ahead. Come on, sis.
Middle school kids, they'll know when you're bluffing too. I mean, they know. And I think if you try to pull yourself off as some sort of a infallible expert or something, they know. And you've shaken all credibility, I think, when you do that. So yeah, it's better just say, I don't know, let's find out.
Exactly. All right, Ms. Rohrer, so what is in the years to come? So I know right now we're in this pandemic. Okay. But post-pandemic, what is your school year going to be like? Like, how will you deal with this? How will you, not even how will you deal, how amazing will you be? Shall I ask that?
Well, I know as a staff, as a faculty, we're really working hard on trying to do just a lot more thinking about the whole child, which I know it shouldn't sound like a revolutionary thing, but it's just something we're really trying to work on of, some of those things that we maybe think kids know of. Oh, no, if I say, well, you're being disrespectful right now, and they say, well, no, I'm not. I think they really think they're not. I think they don't really know. So like trying to come up with some of these things like, well, what does it look like? How should we treat each other? How can we be kinder to each other? Just some of those things we're really trying to work on too. So and it's a little selfish too, in a way, because we feel like that's the way we're going to win over on academics too. When the kids feel more comfortable and everyone knows we're kind of on the same page about things, I think then our academics will become stronger too. So that's where we're working right now.
I totally agree. Can you all see why she's an extreme teacher? She is so amazing.
And I still feel like I have a lot to learn, a lot. So,
but with what you have now, you working with what you got, sis. You working with it and you doing it. I promise you. I am so excited to know an educator like you.
Oh, thank you.
I know that it's not about you. I know that it's about the children. And that's what's most important, is to meet other educators who are really, really all about the kids. And one day I put up a post that said, a teacher's confession. It said, the confession said, true confession of a teacher. We actually miss our students when we're not in school.
That's true.
And I mean, like during the summer, I used to be like, oh, but then I had to disconnect because I'm like, they're going to the next grade or they're going to high school and I won't see, so. And coming back to meet with your old students is great. I know they love coming back to see you. Mm-hmm. And I want to tell you, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to celebrate you today.
Oh, thank you for including me. It's an honor. Seriously.
You kicked this week off strong. Trust me.
Thank you.
To recruit someone from Chicago, Illinois, to come to Toledo, Ohio, to work with your kids, who you met. I think that one I did a 10 or 15 minute presentation.
Your energy is infectious, though. It was just like, yes, this is great.
And look, divine. I haven't been back since that day.
Nope.
I was there to meet you, and I know that, and that's why I trust God. And I was there to meet you and be able to.
I could say the same thing. Yeah.
And we've been with each other 3 years now, maybe 4.
It was. Yeah, it was 2017. It was 2017 when we met. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we're on 3 years. Yeah, 3 years because I started at the beginning of school year. So we're on our way into 2021.
And this year in religion class, the girls quoted you. There was one of the girls that raised her hand and quoted you. I think I texted you that day when she's, her thing. But yeah, It was amazing. So, yep.
Go. It's always good to be able to go work with a school and be able to talk about Jesus or to talk about
It does.
right. You can talk scripture. It's like, yeah, I mean, I love it. But I appreciate you. Thank you for joining me this evening
Thank
on
you for
Extreme
having me.
Teachers. We are honored to have you here.
Oh,
So
thank you.
before you need anything from us this school year, from me, all you have to do is send a text. You don't even have to call. Just send a text and just reach out. So
So
thank
much.
you, Ms. Rohrer.
Thank
Huh?
you. Thank
Oh,
you. I'm
you're
good.
welcome.
Thanks so much.
Thanks everybody for joining in. We'll see you tomorrow. We are here every day this week at 7 p.m. Eastern. 7 p.m. Eastern. Join us every day this week as we honor some extreme educators. All right, guys. Have a good one.
Thank you. Bye-bye.